Hoorain had always been a gentle, soft-spoken girl. Her beauty was quiet, the kind that didn't demand attention but still captured every eye. Her long black hair, shy smile, and innocent nature made her look like someone untouched by the world's cruelty. But life never asks before it tests someone, and it tested her in the harshest way. After finishing her intermediate studies, her father suddenly fell sick. Their home, already struggling, collapsed under the weight of medicines, bills, and daily expenses. With no choice left, Hoorain started working at a small boutique. She handled customers all day, managed orders, helped with stitching, and still took care of her family when she returned home. She bore everything silently, believing that patience was the only path she had. The boutique owner, Naeem, seemed like an ordinary strict boss at first. He scolded her for small mistakes but softened immediately, apologizing sweetly. Hoorain thought he was just a moody man, nothing more. But behind his polite smile, something darker was hiding, something she didn't see until it was too late. One evening, when it was time to close the shop, Naeem asked everyone to leave early except Hoorain. "Hoorain, stay for a moment. I need to talk to you," he said. She froze for a second but nodded politely. "Yes, sir." He walked to the door and quietly locked it from inside. A wave of fear rushed through her chest. Her fingers tightened around her purse. "You're very beautiful," he said, stepping closer. "You don't even know your own worth." Hoorain stepped back immediately. "Sir, I need to go home. My father will worry, please." But Naeem blocked her way, his eyes full of something dangerous, something that wasn't respect. Before she could scream, he grabbed her dupatta. Tears filled her eyes. "Please, don't do this. I respected you like an elder. Why are you doing this?" But a cruel man has no ears, no conscience, no heart. In the dim light of the boutique, he shattered her dignity. Her world broke that day. The girl who believed in kindness saw the face of true evil. When he finished, he looked at her with complete coldness. "Forget this ever happened. If you tell anyone, I'll ruin your life. You will lose your job. Your family will starve." Hoorain felt numb. She walked home as if her soul had stayed behind in that boutique. She stood in front of the mirror that night, but the mirror couldn't recognize her. Her eyes, once bright, were now heavy with fear and shame. She cried until her voice gave out, but the next morning, she went back to work. She told no one. She felt no one would believe her. The world is not kind to a wounded girl. Days passed, but Naeem didn't stop. His threats, his cruelty, his control, everything worsened. Every day became a new punishment. One morning, a new worker joined the boutique. His name was Zaryab. He was gentle, well-mannered, and spoke with kindness that felt rare. From the first day, he could tell that something was deeply wrong with Hoorain. "Hoorain, are you okay? You always look sad," he asked softly. She forced a smile. "I'm just tired." But pain has a way of speaking through silence, and Zaryab could hear it. Slowly, he became a friend she never expected. He made her laugh again, something she had forgotten how to do. He respected her space, never asked too many questions, but always made her feel safe with his presence. One evening, Naeem tried to trap her again. He cornered her, trying to hold her arm. But this time, he didn't know someone was watching. Zaryab, who had gone to lock the storeroom, saw everything. His blood boiled. He rushed forward, grabbed Naeem's hand, and pushed him back. "Enough. I've seen everything. You've been torturing her for months like a coward." For the first time, Naeem looked afraid. Zaryab stood in front of Hoorain like a shield. "Touch her again, and I'll make sure you never walk with pride again." Naeem panicked and ran out. Hoorain collapsed on the floor, shaking. Zaryab knelt beside her, his voice gentle. "You're safe now. I promise, you'll never go through this alone again." For the first time in months, her tears weren't from fear. They were from relief. Zaryab treated her with respect from the very first day, like a brother who wanted nothing in return except her safety. With his support, Hoorain finally gathered the courage to fight. They filed a case. Security footage, voice recordings of his threats, and witness statements, everything came together. Naeem's truth came out in front of the world. His ego, his cruelty, his sick desires, everything was exposed. The man who thought no one could ever touch him was finally dragged to court in handcuffs. Months passed, and Naeem was sentenced to prison. And Hoorain, she rose from her own ashes. She opened her own boutique, fittingly named, New Life. She hired women like her, gave them safe jobs, and became a support for those who were scared to speak. Zaryab helped her often but always kept a respectful distance. He never crossed a line, never made her uncomfortable. He simply stood by her like a real protector, not a savior, but a friend. The sparkle returned to Hoorain's eyes, not the innocence she once had, but a new strength. A light that said she had survived something no one should ever face, and still found her way back to herself. A cruel man destroyed her innocence, but he could not destroy her future. Hoorain saved that herself. Her story became a quiet reminder to every girl. You may fall, you may break, but you are never truly finished. Until you decide you are. Hey everyone, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate it and it would mean a lot to me. Thanks for watch.